Welcome to another ShuBuilds tutorial, and today we're gonna be building another version kitchen.
Yeah, mão pro alto, já tava te vendo. É assalto, olha minha Draco. Pow, pow, não é clique de Canon. Lanço mais.
Welcome, and today we're gonna be using this style kitchen with these colors. Let me show you real quick which ones they are. They're gonna be the light stone gray for the white. It's gonna be an off-white, so you don't have that much of a problem with the light reflecting on them, creating brightness, but still kind of being white. For the top, we're gonna be using the marble with the dark stone gray, and then for the buttons, we're gonna be using black. This is gonna be the same for all of them, and then certain things we're gonna be switching it. Probably not gonna be using marble on this because that looks weird. There you go. That looks good. So these are gonna be the basic colors. I put some extra stuff here to make it easier. I think unlike on the last one, I'm gonna make the basic design of the kitchen, explain to you how to do it, then I'm gonna speed it up and add some little details just to create that extra flair on the build. I'm also this time gonna show you how to build a kitchen when there's windows in the way, and how to build around it to still make it look nice on the inside as well as on the outside. So without further ado, let's get started. First and foremost, we got the small 4x4. We're gonna be doing the same thing again with no game passes on the right and game passes on the left. Like on the last one, we start off with the stove. I'm gonna put it in the middle. Then we're gonna basically create the exact same kitchen as we did last time. So, to mix it up, we're gonna make it slightly different this time. We're gonna not put the stove right there in the middle. I'm gonna put the stove right there. So I wanna try and show you guys how to do this when there are windows. So in this case, we're gonna create a window right there, which is normally where people have a window, right there in the middle, which it doesn't want to place. Oh. Should probably copy the window now. Huh? There you go. Then maybe somebody has a window right there. So instead of putting the stove here, right against that, and setting your whole house on fire because the curtains will catch on fire, we're gonna put a counter right there. And because this is gonna be going to it, we're gonna keep this one open, and instead of just adding something here, we're gonna just do it like that. And create a jar on the other side. And then we get something like this. We're gonna put a kitchen sink right there. Then put the food. We're gonna be using the small ones. And then because we wanna create the middle piece, right there, it's gonna put some shelves right here. Keep this open. And create a corner shelf right here. Also make sure you paint this thing, because not you're gonna get that flickering going on in there. Shoo no likey. Also, if you want this side to show up, just move it tiny bit to the left. That way you get the corner right here. Here it's not necessary, because you want to keep this open to put your appliances in there, which I'll speed through afterwards. Then you got your little kitchen right here. Now, like I said before, I don't like using the island in the middle here, because of the limited amount of space that you have here. So what I normally would do right now is add these instead. And then for this area right here that has the window, you can use stuff like this in order to fill it up. And then either you can keep it the same color as the closet, or the same as the top. I'd like to keep it the same as the closet. The little drawers right there. Now also when you go for the style for the modern, you usually got a whole bunch of weird stuff going on the sides. In this case we can use the windows like I did last time, where you can either do this, then maybe put a fence inside. Now do remember to put this fence inside, put the fence down first before you put the wall, so that way you can paint the fence, because right now getting to that fence can be nearly impossible to do, unless you have the windows there, but you can create a little design on that. And that would be for the advanced placement. Like you can see, you can mix and match everything that you want. You can also put these a little bit closer, like this, so you get a little bit more walking space. It's just a simple idea with these colors. And when you have a table right here, a window right here. Now the same thing when you have no game passes. You usually want to avoid having the windows blocking your kitchen, but let's pretend for a second that you really like your exterior design and you really want your kitchen right here. The reason I did it this way is because when you don't have the game passes, let's first copy this part. Let's speed this up. As you can see, you can still manage to get the exact same look without the advanced placement. Make sure you center the things correctly. That doesn't seem to be very centered here. This one is not centered. Let's try it again. No. The reason why you cannot do that is because, like I mentioned before, no advanced placement, so these cannot overlap. And this is the problem that you see right here, that it's going to be a little bit off. And the problem with that is, and if you at the shelves that I did right here, it's not gonna fit. So you're gonna have this problem right here. So you cannot place them. Now, even if you remove this, if I'm not mistaken, and you place it there. It does work. At you. Anyways, so you still end up with about the same. I think we do have to put this wall here first. So let's place this wall. Also, in order to ensure that you have enough walking space here, I generally put them inside instead of putting them here. So it's gonna leave that little gap in between. It's gonna look kind of funky. Put them like this, so that when you walk inside, it kind of looks the same as it would when you have game passes. I don't know why I say multiple game passes, because it's only about one. This right here. Okay, man. And we're gonna have to move this. There. We're gonna have the same issue on the other side. Yep. And there we go. That's how you would do it without the game passes. Now everything else is basically the same. Like I said before, you just put it on the 4x4. Move this one little bit to the left. Same with these. And then everything should fit. So let's find out. Let's speed it up. I do want to mention one thing here. If you don't have the Game Pass, you probably don't want to use two of those, because you're not going to have enough shelves to put your appliances. I suggest putting this here or on the other side. Probably this side is better, but next to the fridge would be more speedy to put this instead of these. As for the other side, like I mentioned on the other video, the problem is going to be if you want to do the overlap on your hood. You want to use the small shelves, if not the block will go through it and you won't be able to see the hood. So we're going to create two small ones right here. So we create this. Now, of course, if you want to have two shelves here, just duplicate it, put it down, and then put the window down. Now for the table, the same thing again. We can do this by putting this to 4x4. And putting them against the line on both ends. Now, as you can see, without the game pass, you cannot overlap them. So you either put them like this, if you want to have it centered, or like I just did, put one next to it. So it's going to be off on one side, but put it on the other. Now, as for the staircase that I used over here, I think with this distance it's going to be in the way. But if you want it, should be centered. Can it be centered? Cannot be centered because it's not placed right. But you can still do this. Now also without the game pass, I like doing things like this. Instead of the window there. Or with a window. Just to create a little bit more detail without the game pass. Advanced placement. But this would be the 4x4 kitchen. Alright, let's go to the 6x6. Now with the 6x6, like I said before, we can create the island and put it in different ways. Right now, not to do the exact same thing that we did last time, we're gonna mix it up a little bit. So first and foremost, of course, the window. And we're gonna make it a little bit more difficult. Like let's say this is this has two windows right here and right there. And then let's go with one on each side. Now, anybody that builds kitchens knows that this is gonna be a horrible way to make a kitchen, because these gaps are gonna be a pain. What most people do is just ignore that the window exists from the interior perspective and just build your kitchen and forget about it. We are gonna attempt to make this look good. And see what we can do with the extra spaces on each end. Now what you would normally do with this is instead of leaving it two squares, I'm having this tiny stove. You put this one. Now the reason is not because the stove is better, it's just because it occupies more space. Now I personally, if you're gonna do that, use two actual stoves and not one, because you'll be able to cook together with another player or whatever on two stoves, and not on the other one, because even though it looks like it has two stoves, it doesn't actually function as two stoves. So you create something like this to counter this gap right here. Now as for the sides right here, as I did before, we can use the closets on this end and on the other end. However, we can also use these. The basic counter. Or you just want to use the normal tables, normal counters. You can cover it up like this as well. Now I do suggest keeping the top part open on this one if you're gonna use these counters, because it's gonna take up some space here. Why are you not connecting? Why are you not connecting? Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the size of 2 stoves. Yes. Now, even though I do like this hood, like I mentioned before, it does take up a lot of space. But I like what you can do with it when I actually do this the right way, which means I have to take these stoves out for placing this. Make sure they are against it. So let's speed this up. As you can see, get a little opening right here. And on both ends, we're going to be using the coverage on the sides. I put some extra stuff here to use up some extra space on the sides right here. So what I end up doing is, instead of having this counter stick out as much as it is doing right now, create one little block more on both ends. And then I think I can use this one. And then we can make this thing, which is basically the same thing. If you don't have the Game Pass as well, we can use this. But for the Game Pass version, you can just leave it on 2x2, because all of these will basically merge together. We got the bookcase, the modern dresser, the massive pillar. But I want to put this in the right place. And we're going to put it against the wall. As you can see, it's should be right here. But I think this works too. And then for the final touch, as you can see, it fits right next to it. Now let's speed it up and do the other side too. As you can see, this is not going to be necessary because we still need a fridge over there. Almost forgot. The fridge on this side and then the shelves on this side. The shelves, we can either use it to put all the appliances there, or we can use it to just use it as a decoration. Whichever you prefer. We need a sink. Sink right here. The reason why I usually put the sink as far away from the fridge as possible, because you want to take something out of the fridge and then start cutting it right away. You can do it this way. Alright, now as for the island on this one, we can make the straight one just go through the middle. But I think For this one specifically, we're gonna make like a U shape. See if this is a good spot. Will be a little tight. Not that noticeable, but I think this looks good. Plenty of walking space, and if I'm not mistaken, the chair should fit as well. But I'm gonna have to put it a little close though. Let's speed this up. Usually with these kind of kitchens, you want to create some weird random stuff on it. Usually the end pieces are the best place. Like this. When you have something like this going on over here, generally use some of the smaller pillars. Like this. And then place them in the correct spot where it should be. I think this one. And then the top part, to either use it to put the light. It's a nice little effect with the industrial light. If I'm not mistaken, it should fit two of these. There. Nice stone gray. And you have a kitchen like this. Now you'll be able to walk around easily. You can also add some plants here. See, just to create a little bit more of a static design. Let's put it right there. There's a little bit closer than the other side. That's it right there. Alright, like this. Now as for the cabinets, and I don't know why I keep thinking shelves. We could put one right there on top. I don't like that. Can't do it here though. I think that looks okay. I think we're gonna put the shelf here. Now also something that I did a few times also. So instead of leaving these windows open like this, I put the simplicity shelf on top of it. Either that one or the shelf that I put over here. Of course, without all that stuff on top of it. And then for this one, Let's use pots. Now do be aware if they are this high up, they're gonna go to the ceiling. So make sure they're like right there. Now they will overlap, but you won't see that as much when you're walking here. One more here. We got our full-blown kitchen. Now this is with the advanced placement. Some of these things we will not be able to do without. I'm gonna start off building all the basic things that we can do, and then we'll go from there. So we're gonna speed it up a little. Now, like I mentioned, certain things we cannot do, and the main issue is that this one is too wide without the advanced placement. I don't think this is something we can fix either. We can cheat it and go the other way around. Problem is that the hood cannot touch the stove. So in this case we're gonna just stick with one stove and then continue with the rest. Here we go. Now, like I mentioned before, instead of using this on the no advanced placement, we're going to be using these. It's going to be the rustic dish cabinet. They're a little pricey, so if you think like, okay, that's a little overkill for both sides of these, don't use them. You can just use a normal counter. Boy, you no fit. Weird. Also, without the advanced placement, don't leave them in there because it's gonna take space on the shelves as well. If you put any kind of objects in it, it's just gonna disappear inside of the curtain. Of course, that is mostly because I decided it's too far. Yeah, right there. And you get something like this. Let's ignore what I just said. Alright, now as you saw in the corner right here, we did the shelves in the corner. We cannot do that without the advanced placement. So it's gonna look slightly different. So let's speed this up. Now, like I said, you can either just keep it like this, which I really don't like, but you're gonna have the extra shelf right here, or you're just gonna leave this corner right here open. By putting this one all the way to the end. Like that. I don't like that at all. And what I normally do here is copy this side as well on this side, so it looks even. That of course is if I actually put it evenly. Somewhere there. And then use these corners for shelves. Yes, I mean actual shelves. I put them right here. Of course, you have to do that without the window first. So let's speed this up. Let's remove the windows and then put these shelves down. As you can see, without advanced placement, you can still get kind of the same look. The only other thing that you won't be able to do is, of course, the pillars that are inside of the sinks or the counters right here, because you cannot put these the hood and the pillars against each other. So even if you take away the counter, let me show you. You cannot get this close enough, so you would have to place it almost all the way over here, and that will just look weird. So we're gonna do this one without the pillars. I think this still has a nice look. What do you guys think? Right? And maybe even get a wall here. Right out. Nope. Alright, let's not do the wall thing. Alright. Now as for this. Yeah, let's make this one and see how it looks like. Let's speed it up again. As I said before, to put the pillars inside, they cannot be in touching the counters, so to avoid that, we can either keep it straight, so it's going to be a straight corner here, or we put this one sideways on each side and then still create the little corner. Now, as you can see, I made it one smaller. Let's make it the right way. As you guys can see, you still get almost the identical same look as you would with the advanced placing, but this is done without. And even though things are overlapping, it works. And you don't have to worry about needing a game pass to do this. All you have to do is remove the window, place everything you want. Of course, unless it completely blocks the window, then it doesn't work, like a painting or something like that. But this works. There's also one thing that you can do when you don't have the advanced placement and you want to put the picture behind here. Instead of putting the picture, you make this piece of the wall, so it would be a 2 wall, and you put any tiles that you want right there below it, and make sure it's only this wall, and then everything else you can just paint it any color you want. Let's go with something kitcheny. That is not kitchen. That would be on the floor. Let's keep it simple and go with this. That looks horrible. To get the basic idea. So then the splash screen would only be either behind the sink or behind the stove, or wherever you want it. Just make sure you put one square there, or one wall piece, and you can paint it anything you want. Now if you do have the advanced placement, as you can see, it does not fit when you have windows here. You will have to move a bunch of stuff. Something like this. Now you can also use the smaller paintings when it's spaced like this, because you have the pillars on the sides. You can wiggle the space a little bit more towards the center so that you cover up this area. You don't have to worry too much about it not reaching the end pieces, because you can hide them behind the pillars or behind the thing that I keep forgetting the name of. Traditional hood. There we go. We're not gonna make a third one this time because the video is already too long. I apologize for that. But these are two versions of kitchens you can do with advanced placement and without. As you can see, you can still have a very detailed kitchen regardless of not having the Game Pass. So don't let anybody ever tell you, oh, you need Game Passes in order to make your house look nice. It is not true. Just nicer. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys want to see some kind of specific tutorial about a kitchen, let me know in the comments below. Also let me know what you think and what other kind of videos you want to see. See you in the next one. And don't forget, be kind, stay awesome. See you in the next one. With